Now, with South Korea set to host next year's edition down in Gyeongju City in Gyeongsangbuk-do Province, what does 2024 APEC Peru mean for South Korea ahead of 2025 APEC Gyeongju? Let's turn to Professor Andrew Millard for more. Welcome, Professor Millard.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. So considering Gyeongju City is the host for next year's APEC, how important is this year's event for South Korea?
So this is really a very important event for South Korea. So firstly, the main thing we should remember is that President Yoon, he will be traveling to Peru and he will accept the chairmanship for the APEC summit next year in Korea. And this is also the first time that the APEC is returning back to Korea for 20 years. So this is really significant. Now, what President Yoon needs to do while he's in Peru is he needs to learn from the Peruvians. What are the Peruvians doing in APEC this year? What initiatives are they bringing? So I know there will be the high-level meetings with the heads of state, heads of government, but there will also be ministerial meetings. There'll be conferences for academics, conferences for students. There'll be civil group meetings. So hopefully all of these initiatives, they will continue on in Korea to really expand the cooperation in the future and collaboration, but also for President Yoon, he can go and he can really promote South Korea as a global actor. So he can promote South Korea's commitment to global issues such as climate change, security, ending poverty, and so on.
Right, a lot to learn from Peru, considering it is Peru's third time hosting the event. Now, Peru is the only South American nation that South Korea has a comprehensive strategic partnership with. What kind of synergy can we expect from the two countries in terms of, cooperation and also collaboration?
So I think it's also important that first we remember that South America as a whole region is very important to South Korea. So South Korea has roughly 56 FTAs with individual countries, 9 of which are in South America. The first FTA South Korea made was with Chile back in 2004. So the region as a whole is important. But of course, Peru signed the FTA in 2011. That was then updated to the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership in 2012, which covers economy, IT, digital, medicine, environment, defense. But of all of those right now, sort of the 3 main areas would really be digitalization, which the Peruvian government really wants to expand on and which South Korea has huge expertise in. Environment, both countries really looking to expand their renewable energy sectors, and both have huge potential for both onshore and offshore wind energy. And the last one, as mentioned in your report just before, really defense industries. So South Korea recently has contracts for the shipyard, which will build 3 naval ships for Peru, and also armored vehicles they have a contract for, and also parts for the F-A-50 fighter jet.
Well, we have to talk about the sideline meetings that are about to take in Peru. The leaders of South Korea, the U.S. and Japan are holding a trilateral summit. Now, the question is, why is this meeting important, especially under the shift in the U.S. leadership? Is it especially important because there's a shift in the leadership?
So last year, as you know, there was the Camp David summit, and the leaders of South Korea, Japan, and the U.S., they made this big pledge to promote democracy and security and expand human rights, create prosperity. Now, that was a pledge between the 3 leaders. This year, it's very important for those 2 reasons. Firstly, they need to now put this into action. They need to formalize this, make some official processes, basically institutionalize this, because, as you said, we have these leadership changes. Now, currently, the leadership change in Japan, I don't think will make a huge difference. Korea-Japan relations, I think, will continue to be very good. Maybe the slight uncertainty right now would be the change of leadership in America from next year, with President-elect Donald Trump coming in. As you know, the last time Donald Trump was the president, issues between South Korea and America did exist. So that would be the uncertain area.
Well, we know for sure that a trilateral meeting between those three sides is on the way, but all eyes are also on a possible meetup between President Yoon and Chinese President Xi Jinping. Why is Seoul-Beijing meeting important or even necessary at this point? What do you think?
Well, firstly, China, it's a superpower, not just in Asia, not just Northeast Asia, but globally. So any chance that South Korea has the opportunity to have a bilateral meeting with President Xi Jinping is always important. However, right now, with lots of global issues, security issues, environment, global supply chain issues, trade issues, it's really very important. And China has, in the past year, actually been relatively quiet on the global stage.
Right.
Now, it's been more neutral. What President Yoon really needs to do, if there is a bilateral meeting with President Xi Jinping, he needs to reassure China that South Korea is committed to free trade and it's committed to peace and security in Northeast Asia, and that it will not try to change its policy regarding sending weapons to Ukraine or anything like that. So really, President Yoon's meeting with China could be very significant.
Definitely. All right, Professor Millard, thanks so much for sharing your insight with us this morning. You have a lovely day.
Thank you. You too.